Sorry, you're gonna have two parts to this. I just didn't want that to go off every couple of minutes, okay? So you'll have two videos. So, I'm not a good video editor. So now you're gonna press escape, okay? Then you're gonna go down to blood glucose units. They're mgs. You wanna leave them at mgs. Then we're gonna go your sensitivity. Mine's 36. Remember, I've been using this pump. So I'm gonna press act to activate it. Yours is 40, okay? So I'm gonna press 40, and it's gonna be one sensitivity all the time. Press act to activate, then escape, because you have one time. Your blood glucose target, I believe we want it at 100 to 100. I'm 90 to 100, but I'll change it for you. If you want to change it to 90 to 100, just press act. The first number's highlighted. I'm going to go up to 100. And I'm going to press act. Second number, act. Okay? Over to escape. Active insulin time is 4 hours. Leave it at 4 hours, okay? Insulin, no matter what type of insulin you're using, only acts within 4 to 5 hours. If you want to change it to 5, that's fine, but I leave it at 4. And that's it. So now I'm going to back out by using escape, 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 escape. I'm out to the main screen. I'm just going to hit the backlight off and then put it back on again. All right, sorry about the two videos. Now, there's another thing you need to do on the pump. You're gonna have to go to bolus, and you're gonna have to say max bolus. It's always set for 10, that's fine. You're never gonna bolus from the pump. Don't worry about it, you're bolusing from RileyLink. So leave it at 10. So go back over to escape. Dual square bolus, you wanna turn that. You can turn that option off. I don't know why it was on, okay? Easy bolus, you want that on and set at 2. It'll stay there, okay? These settings should all stay, but do a review on them, okay? Back off. Then you blood glucose reminder, you don't need that, so press act, turn that off. Up and down, make sure it's off, okay? Okay, I'm backing up again. We got the max bolus, dual square wave. We've got the bolus wizard set up, we're done. Bolus history, don't worry about that. That'll be mine, but it doesn't matter. Manual bolus, you're gonna press act. That's in case you ever have to bolus, but don't worry about it. Use bolus wizard, you're not. So now I'm gonna back out. Now, if you ever need to suspend the pump, you can suspend the pump by pressing suspend, then act. Act again to enter. If you want to unsuspend, act, resume, okay? So now we're gonna go to sensor setup. Sensor setup should be off. And it is. So you shouldn't have to deal with that. Okay? Basal. We want to set your basals. I don't have your basals in front of me. Actually, I do. So let me go get those. And I'll set them up for you. So let's make sure that but you're going to have to do a basal review just to make sure, okay, that they stayed. So let me see what we have here. Unless you changed them, I took them from Night Scout for you. So I've got, okay, backlight again. I'm gonna press act. I'm gonna go to basal. And I'm gonna go set, edit, basal. So at 12 a.m., your basal is 0.65. So I'm gonna go down to 0.65. Press act. It's gonna give me the second basal. Yours is at 6, but notice the time is flashing. So I'm gonna move it to 6. I don't know if you can see my emails coming in, but sorry about that. So I moved it to 6 by the up arrow. Now I'm gonna go over to act. gonna activate the basal rate, and I'm gonna bring it down to 0.9. Now these are what I have. Okay, you can change these, and I'm sure you already know how to do all this. I just want to make sure that you're okay. You know me, okay? So your next is at 9 p.m. So you go from 6 a.m. at 0.9 all day long to 9 p.m. at 0.6, 0.5. So I'm going to change this to 9 p.m. I'm going to hit act. Then I'm going to go down to 0.65. Now these should stay. If you notice, these were my basal rates when I had the battery out. So they should stay. I'm going to press act, and that's it. If you need to add any more, this is where you would add it. If you need to delete any, you go scroll all the way up to like midnight, and then it stops. Okay? You can always call me and I can walk you through that. Okay? So now we're all set. I'm going to go back out, and it says current rate started. Your total is 19.35 units a day. I'm going to back out, and I'm going to go to basal review just to review it. There's your basal rates. Okay? So I'm going to go back out. I'm still in basal. Okay? Now I'm going to do max basal rate. So I'm going to press enter. Mine is 8. If I'm really high, the Riley Link could give me 8 units. It could raise me up all the way to 8. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to put it at 4. Okay? If you think that's too much or too little, you can go in here and change it. Okay? Be my guest. I don't think you need 8 units in an hour. But as a rule of thumb for safety features, it's really 3 to 4 times your normal basal rate. So my normal basal rate is over 2, so 8 is fine. But let's just go bring it down to 4. Press act. That's your max basal rate, okay? Patterns should be off. Notice activate escape. Temp basal type, very important. We press act, and you got to make sure it's highlighted at insulin rate U/H, units per hour. It can't be on percent. I just moved to percent. Make sure it's up on units per hour. Very important. Press act. Okay? So guess what? We're almost done. So now we're going to go over to back out. We're going to go to the main menu. Okay? Going to press act. And I'm going to go down to utilities. Okay? And we don't want to do anything with lock keypad or alarm or daily totals. Time and date we already set, no alarm clock, but we want meter options. Now this should stick, but just in case, you're gonna press act. You're gonna make sure it's on, press act again, and then you're gonna say review ID. It should have a bunch of zeros in there. Leave it alone if it does. Now back out, okay? Then you're going to go down to remote options. This should stick to, make sure it's on, press on, go down to review ID. You got a bunch of zeros? Perfect. I set it all up for you. Back right out. Awesome. Guess what? We're ready to prime. You know how to prime. Press act. You're going to go down to prime. You're going to press rewind, okay? And then you're going to fill your vial. You're going to put your vial in. You're going to put your tubing in. And then you're going to go up to easy bolus and do 4 units. Just press it twice. You'll hear a little tune. See? When the tune goes, press act, and then act again, and it'll give you 4 units to fill the cannula, okay? I just backed out of that, all right? I think that's it, sweetie. So now, the backlight doesn't last very long. So now what we're gonna do is you have to go into the Riley link now, and you have to make sure that all your new settings are in there. Your settings should be okay. We're not changing any of your settings, so you shouldn't have to, but you're gonna have to add the pump. So you're gonna go into settings, you're gonna click on the insulin pump icon that you have now, and you're gonna say delete pump. The pump's gonna be deleted. Then make sure the pump, the new pump, the battery's in, it's all set, is sitting next to your Riley link, all right, and your Dexcom. So then what you're gonna do with the Riley link is you're going to, trying to do this from memory, all right? I believe it says find pump or continue. So you're gonna continue, but it also asks you to put in the model number of the pump. The pump here is a 522L. I don't think you need the L, but it's a 522NA, okay? The last L means it's the color. I don't know, whatever. But it's a 522NA. Then it's going to ask you to put the serial number of the pump. That right there is the serial number where it says PAR. You don't need any letters. All you need is the 6 numbers, which are 362174. Don't use the U at the end. So it's 362174, and you're going to click next or connect or whatever and it takes a few minutes. What I do, make sure your Riley link is on because it actually will turn off. You want to make sure loop is you're on a closed loop, and you make sure your little, I think it says Sid's pancreas. Make sure that toggled off for me when I changed pumps. So make sure that's toggled back on. And then this will take maybe 5 minutes, but you'll start looping again. If you don't, you go down to the radio wave, click on that, try to get the Riley link, linked again, and wait a couple minutes and see what happens. Then you're gonna call me when all this is over and you're gonna tell me, Dad, thanks for the video. I love you very much. And I did it. It's awesome. This pump is great. And I put it in a case so I don't get the moisture behind it and ruin the buttons. Because this pump was $600. So, and they're really, really hard to find. Okay, honey? Listen, I miss you very much. I love you. Thank you. All right? I hope you're okay. I hope you're feeling better. I love you. Bye.